Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to our review on the Syma X5C-1 Upgraded version. This was sent to me courtesy of Banggood to check out. And so I've got my findings now that I've had, a lot of time in on this thing, run a bunch of packs through it, had some fun, seeing how things go. So anyways, you do get a retail box. Now let's dig in, get rid of the box. So you're going to find in your box a radio. You're going to find your quadcopter, you're going to find some prop guards, as well as 4 spare blades. You're also going to find a screwdriver, as well as a micro SD card reader and your battery charger in a separate baggie. And it is a 2-hour charger, by the way, so it's kind of a long time to charge, but yeah, you deal, right? Or you get a hobby grade charger and charge them faster. I would probably say too, if you're going to pick this quad up, pick up some extra batteries for it. Because hey, you only get about 7 minutes tops, so you want more flight time and not have to wait for another battery. Have a bunch of them pre-charged up and you can fly for a long time. Just give the quad about 5 minutes cool down time for the engines at least before you slap another battery in there, okay? And this will give you longer engine life. Otherwise you're going to burn them out quick, okay? And same as when you recharge your batteries. Make sure that they're already cold before you recharge them, and that will also help extend life. The manual that you get is very detailed, lots of graphics, parts list too, but also very easy English to understand, very basic. I mean, pretty much anybody should be able to understand this manual without any difficulty at all. Now, this quadcopter is marketed as a aerial photography system, so it has a camera in it, which is a 720p 2 megapixel HD camera, and it does a really decent job. I mean, it's not the best 720p out there, but it is actually really decent, and it's a good training tool to get you into this sort of type of flying and photography stuff. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, this is a great little quad to get started at, and it's inexpensive. I mean, in Canadian dollar currency, we're looking at 70 bucks and free shipping from Banggood. Takes a couple weeks in the mail. Definitely worth the wait, especially for this version of the X5. The other ones, man, there is so much bad stuff going on with those other versions. I would definitely recommend staying away from those. But this upgraded version, I've had some time in on it. I've done a little bit of torture to it and stuff, and put it through its paces, and it's a very strong, stable quad. Okay, so I definitely would recommend this. Okay, now there is only one bug they did not cure yet, and that's the low voltage cutoff. So you're going to need to time your flights, because if you don't, and you're going to wait for those lights to flash to warn you, you're already going to be on the ground by the time they do kick in. So that is a bit of a thing where Syma has at least one more thing to fix, and this thing will be like near perfect, and definitely the best quad for the buck, as far as classification goes, etc. Okay, it's going to be really that much more better. But I would still recommend even this the way it is now, because all the other bugs are definitely completely fixed in the quad, so you don't have to worry. Even the range issue, wouldn't worry about range. It is rated, in reality, it's rated for 100 meters, which is over 300 feet. I know Banggood's website, you're going to notice it says 50 meter. It is actually 100 meters. If you look on several other websites that sell this same upgraded version, it is actually 100 meters range on it, and I've had it up way over 200 feet myself, not even a hiccup or a glitch of any kind. I've done it at daytime, I've done it at nighttime, I've had no issues. Okay, I haven't maxed it out or tried to max it out to see where it actually does max at, only because I've been flying it in my backyard, and yeah, I've got the entire forest here, as you guys know, and I really don't want to lose this thing to a tree. Okay, it would just really super suck. Okay, so I'll do a max flight test down the road, and we'll see where it sits from there as far as max heights go, and what actually does happen with this one when you max out the limits. Because I know with the other X5s, there's been a lot of talk about flyaways where the quad would actually stay running even though it's out of range. You had no control, and it would just fly away all on its own, and it'll keep going until the battery dies. And I've heard other stories where it would actually just shut down because it loses bind, of course, at that point when it's out of range. And you know, instead of plummeting to the earth right away, it starts to plummet but then gets blown by a breeze. Now the thing is, with the style of the airframe that's on this, although it's really nice, you know, it's susceptible to wind, okay, blowing at it. So if you're flying out in, you know, higher than, we'll say 15-kilometer-an-hour winds, you can expect it's going to get blown one way or another. So whichever way the wind's blowing, that's the way she's going. Now the benefit would be is if the wind is blowing toward you, that'd be a good thing, because at least it's going to blow it toward you. Okay, but this quad does nonetheless have a fail-safe in it. Now I don't know if the regular X5s have one, because I haven't played with any of those particular quads, just this one. But this one here does have a fail-safe. So let's turn it on, and we're going to simulate an out-of-range situation. So we turn on the blades, and all I'm going to do is cut the power. It spins down and it unbinds, okay? Now, if you're paying attention, which you should be while you're flying, and you've lost control and it starts to plummet, what you can do is make sure that the throttle is off, turn your radio off, and then turn it back on, and just, you know, up and down like you would normally bind, and it'll rebind the quad, and you can save the quad. Even if the quad flips upside down while it's coming down, it will recalibrate itself and go back upright again. I've done this test myself and put it upside down like that from a height, and it flipped itself back over when it regained control, because I just hit the throttle and boom, it flipped it and recentered itself upright. So it does work, but the benefit to this fail-safe working properly is if when it does lose range, that it's close enough this way on the plane that, you know, it's a height thing more than a distance away that way. You know, because going away on a horizontal plane is going to be a bad thing. But going away on a vertical part and just a bit horizontal, that's where you're going to be able to recover this thing real easy by doing just what I did now, okay, which is turn the radio off, turn it back on, and then hit that throttle up and down movement to bind it, and it'll rebind to the quad, and you can save the quad from smashing to the ground, okay? So that's how that works. So that's a good little fail-safe. Now, other things that have changed in this quad too is that you can now record and do flipping at the same time. So your flipping mode is, I don't know how it worked on the other X5s, like I said, no experience there, but this one here, press and hold on the flipping button, and then just move the stick any way you like, and just keep doing that, and it'll keep flipping as long as you hold that button down. As soon as you let go of the button though, you're back into regular flying. Now some quads you just click it and you can just go flip crazy, you know, and then click it again, disengage it. You know, some of them you click it, it engages, you flip it, disengages, you click it, you flip it, disengages. This one here you actually have to hold it down, and the longer you hold it down, you can just keep going flip crazy, which is actually kind of fun actually. Now, with the high rates and low rates switch for your high and low speed flying, that's controlled by the left button. Just a simple click, click, and it will present itself with an H or an L on the screen here, on the digital screen, so you know if you're in high rates or low rates, which you should know anyways, because if you're going forward, you know, all of a sudden, oh, I want to go faster, just click it. Or if you're already going faster, you want to slow down and you're still going forward, just click it again. You know, you're going to be able to visually see that, right? So no big deal there. To activate the camera, push the trim control here to the left. It's normally like a throttle trim. Well, not anymore. Now it activates and deactivates your camera. So push up and keep pushing up and you'll keep popping snapshots. Push down once, it activates the camera to record video. Push it down again, it deactivates the camera. So very simple and easy. The other trim controls are fully active trim controls for trimming your left and right banking, your forward and backwards, as well as your turning left and right or pirouetting, which is, you know, this stuff, okay? So that's how that works. These buttons here down at the bottom, these are all fakes, you know. The screen is legit and real and functional, okay? It is not backlit, which is actually kind of nice, because I do have one of my radios that it's backlit and it stays backlit, and it's like, that is really super annoying flying at night, because it's a bright blue, you know, so I gotta kind of try and look away, otherwise the reflection hits my glasses and then it kind of messes me up. So it's like, okay, that's a problem. Put some tape over top of that one. But this one, no, it doesn't backlight up at night, so you know, you have no worries. And the green light is really not a strong green light, so even flying at night, this isn't bright and annoying either in your face, so you can fly in total darkness and you'll know that it's there and lit, right? But it's not annoying, which is really good. As far as the rest of the radio goes, it does take 4 AA batteries, which that you got to provide yourself, okay? That's a given. So it is a ready to fly machine, but you do have to have your own batteries. Now, the overall rating I'm going to give this quad, because I really don't have a lot to bone pick on it with, is going to be a 3 3/4 excuse me, out of 5. And I think that that's more than fair, and I still recommend the quad. Actually, I really do highly recommend it, even though that low voltage cutoff system is a pain in the neck on this yet. I still really recommend it. If you want a good stable flyer, you want to practice some aerial photography, you know, get used to the idea of trying it out maybe more on an advanced level, this at least gets you in. And then if you like it and you enjoy it, then that's when you can say, okay, now I'm ready to invest. But also, if you learn to practice on this thing too and crash it, it's not an expensive repair job, where if you go out and buy something big right away and you're not really that experienced, even though they say, oh, they virtually fly themselves. Yeah, don't believe everything you hear. I don't, okay? You really need to start with something a little bit smaller first, especially if you're unexperienced, period, with flying quads. You need to learn on something inexpensive to get you going. And take your time, small stick movements, learn the machine, you know, take it easy with it. And you'll have very few crashes at all, and very few that will actually do damage, you know. It doesn't mean you're not going to crash even with an expensive quad, but, you know, the more experience you gain, the less chance that is going to be to happen. So anyway, nitpicky stuff. I mean, the landing gear, it's a little thin, you know. I'd like to see that thicker. That's just a little nitpicky. The way that the camera is activated in either mode, I think that they could have relocated this down here. Instead of making a fake panel, they should have said, you know, this is, you know, video mode, this is picture mode, or vice versa, and just put like a 2-button system here. That would have been a little bit better, okay? But that's a little nitpicky mode, right? So, but otherwise you can get used to this positioning. I'm getting used to it rather quickly. The whole flipping idea of holding this button down, I'm getting used to that, okay? You know, it is different. Every manufacturer does things different. They don't, you know, there's no industry standard here for what does what and how it does it. And Syma decided that, you know, they're going to make you push and hold that button in and do your flipping. And when you're done being bored with flipping, then you let go and fly normal again. That's quite acceptable, but not really that nitpicky, okay? So this is like super minor, right? So the only major ding here on the entire quad is actually that low voltage cutoff. You gotta watch and time your flights to know when you should be coming down, okay? Now, as your battery, sorry about the noise, wait till the truck goes by. So as your battery gets a lot of cycles on it, your flight time does get reduced. That's something you got to realize. Batteries do wear over time, right? That's why, hey, having spare batteries is great. Then you just multi-cycle and you get a lot more use out of them. You know, so your flight times do get reduced that way. So keep an eye on that sort of thing. But I mean, for the only real major thing I can pick on, that's the only thing that's a major thing on the quad to me that Syma still has to fix. And once they do fix and resolve that, this is definitely going to be like a 4, maybe a 4 1/4 out of 5, you know, type of quad at that point. Definitely a 4 1/4 out of 5 is about the furthest I would push this quad if they fix that low voltage cutoff system, so you get a warning system properly, you know, so you can land safer instead of just falling out of the sky and then get the warning, you know. But anyways, other than that, yeah, great quad, highly recommend it. Price is right, you know, so definitely a good buy. So anyways, we're going to move now on to the footage that I've recorded for you guys, so you can see different flying modes, different things I've done, You know, and we did an early evening flight with this too, so you get to really see how the quad presents itself with the bright lights. Even, you know, over 200 feet in the air, you can still see them, and you know, and so let me know what you guys think. I think it's a definite good buy, and it's definitely great for the beginner people. It's great for those who want to just get into, you know, that photography type of thing and do it. This is a really good stable quad. It holds its own really well, but just watch the winds with it, guys. I mean, 15K is as far as I think you'd want to push it. I've done 20 and 22K with my Syma X5, which is virtually the exact same quad, and that was way too much wind even for this airframe design. So that's something you want to be careful of, is, you know, watch those winds, because otherwise, yeah, it could be taken off on you somewhere. But anyways, that's it. Enjoy the video. For the footage there. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the early evening video. I didn't want to do this in total pitch darkness. This way you get to see how bright the lights actually are on this quad. So let's get her up in the air. This is just the low rates here. So pull forward. And we'll switch over to the high rates. And backwards. And pull forward. some video from the onboard while we're here. And bring her in for landing.